Hello, everyone. Chris and Claire here, doing my assignment 4 project reflection. So for the synthesis, I came up with a few things. First one being that this was the first time, I think, this is my third year of grad courses. I did a master's in school leadership through Benedictine College that I finished last summer. That was 2 years. And now I just am finishing up my first year through Fort Hays doing the Master's of Instructional Technology. And so in my 3 years of doing this, I've never really done a group project online. And so I was nervous about that when I saw that we were doing it for this, but honestly, it was a lot better than I thought it would be. It was actually pretty enjoyable. I feel like I learned a lot, and I might have just lucked out on my partners in my group. I had two amazing group members that held their end of the weight. We had good discussions. We did some Google Hangout chats, video chats, so we got to talk to each other and really work on it together, and it was really nice. It worked out really well. So that was one of my big takeaways for this, because I'm just thinking, depending on how this school year goes, if there's some online stuff to do, I don't think I should shy away from maybe doing some group projects in the classes that I teach as well, because I saw a lot of benefits to doing it that I hadn't expected. So, and then the second one that I saw was student engagement actually increases with mobile learning in class. That's one of the things I learned about as I was doing this project over mobile learning. When I try to have this conversation with some of my peers and the people that I work with at the schools I've taught at, there's always teachers that say that cell phones should not be allowed in the school. They definitely should not be allowed in the classroom. All they are is a distraction. So it was kind of cool to do this project and then get to learn this fact that just further enhances what I've been saying about cell phones being a useful thing in class. So these mobile devices, sure, they can be distracting if we allow them to, if we let them bring them in the classroom and then they do nothing with them. I can see where they're used to having these phones, so they might be more tempted to check a text, check a Snapchat, or put a tweet out there or whatever if it's not being used and we're not keeping them engaged. But if we find things to use these phones for, or whatever mobile device they're using, if we find things to do with them in the classroom, they are typically going to be more engaged in whatever the content is that's being taught. So I think that's really valuable information. It's nice to have this factual evidence to back up what I've been saying now. So I'm kind of excited to have this conversation again, which I'm sure will happen very soon. Another factor with that is that 84% of teenagers have phones these days. So that's a huge number of kids that will typically have a phone. And I think that we have reached a point where we just need to embrace that and understand that as teachers and as educators, we need to show these kids the proper use for these phones, when to use them, how to use them, the do's and don'ts. So since I teach heavily on computers and using the internet and programs, and just in my environment, especially being in a computer lab, I think that it's valuable to teach these kids that there is educational benefits to these phones, and just to teach them how to use these devices appropriately, so that then when they get out into their first big kid job or whatever, they know the do's and don'ts. They know what to do and not get themselves in trouble. Thank you.